This is a Radio Dog podcast production. Welcome to the Rick Dollar Show podcast. Here's a guy who thought those voices in his head sounded familiar. Your host, Rick Dollar.
I've heard people say you never know who you'll meet at Randy Wood's Guitars, and that just happened to me. I ran into Thomas Claxton, rock god, and this is how that went.
My name is Thomas Claxton. I am a professional vocalist and an event promoter and producer, founder of the Behind the Hits concert series. And I have been fortunate enough to have a full-time career in music for the past 25 plus years.
That's pretty good.
I haven't had a job outside the music industry since 2000.
Awesome.
So, and I've been very blessed to work with some of the most iconic people out there, you know, as far as session players and things go. You know, I work with guys who've worked with James Taylor and Pink Floyd and a lot of different bands like that. So, you know, it's been a heck of a ride, and I've enjoyed every bit of it.
You were around the guys from the Wrecking Crew too. I thought that was just something awesome for me to know about, because I mean I know guys in Nashville and they've been around those guys a lot of times.
For sure.
And so what are you doing here?
I grew up here.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't see the need to leave. I mean, you know, it's like, especially like I love.
If you can make some money here, why go somewhere else?
Well, no. I go other places to make the money, you know, and I come back here for the peace and quiet, you know. So, you know, because speaking of the Wrecking Crew, though, that's my buddy Don Randy that I'm friends with, and Don was the founder of. He was the guy who opened the Baked Potato in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Years ago, but Don, God, man, he's played on stuff from the Beach Boys, the Righteous Brothers, Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, all these types of people.
I hate to even think how much, you know, of a life these guys have lived, because there's no way I'm getting that far now, you know.
Well, you know, for me, the price of fame is a blessing and a curse, and it's something that I am fine with not having.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I like to be the guy that those guys can call on and count on.
Exactly.
I don't want to be that. You know, and thank goodness. You know, everybody said, well, you're not famous. I know that.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
I'm very happy with that fact. You have no idea.
I don't understand. I mean, you know, growing up around my dad and people like that, they were all playing music and stuff, and they were, you know, big fish in a little pond, you know, in Bristol, Tennessee. But, you know, when you go other places, things are a lot different.
It gets crazy. I mean, I've seen situations where what should have been a 10-second walk down a hallway turned into a 4-hour event because people just wouldn't leave them alone. And, you know, and a lot of people think they want that.
No, it's aggravating.
I'm like, you know, this is why when I see the stories of some famous people, whether they be athletes or musicians or actors or whatever, and somebody, you know, thinks, oh my God, that guy was a jerk. Yeah, but you got to look at the context.
Exactly.
If these people are out having dinner or they're with their families walking through an airport or something, shut up.
Exactly.
Leave them alone.
I totally understand.
It's crazy. And they're like, well, they forgot where they came from. No, they didn't. They know.
No, they know exactly where they came from.
They know that, you know, you're part of the reason why they are who they are.
Yeah.
However, there's still a time and a place for that stuff.
I agree.
And when they're with their 5-year-old, that's not the time and the place, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's just crazy. I remember I read a story a while back where this guy, do you know who Brock Lesnar is?
Yeah, sure.
This guy rushed Brock Lesnar in an airport.
That is a big, mean fella right there.
They rushed him in an airport, and he turned around and grabbed the guy by the neck and threw him up against the
God.
Remember the guy who tried to instigate Mike Tyson on the airplane a while back? I'm like, and he got smacked in the face, and he's like, I can't believe Mike did that to me. I'm like, bro.
No, but I'm sure your lawyer will take care of it the next day.
What kind of next level idiot do you have to be to instigate Mike Tyson? I mean, I wouldn't fight him if he was 70 years old.
No, and he's
no way.
You know, that last fight he had with who was the last fight he had
Jake
with
Paul.
Oh my God, that was such a setup.
Mike was holding back. He was holding back.
Well, I mean, you know, he got a couple of good shots in, and I saw Jake Paul go, You know,
that's not what we agreed on.
That's not what we talked about. I need my jaw.
But, you know.
Well, let's talk about you, man. I mean, you've been in the business all this time, and does it satisfy what you have to have in your life?
It does, because I'm the kind of person, like, if it didn't, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, music has been what I knew I was meant to do since I was a kid. And it's also part of the reason why I'm so defensive of it, you know, sometimes, and people think I take it too seriously. No. You know, but I'm like,
if it's something you love, you have to take it seriously.
It's a serious thing to me because, and I tell the story a lot, you know, but I tell it a lot because it is part of my history. And like, I remember when I was a kid growing up in Effingham County.
Yeah.
And, you know, I loved where I grew up. I had such great memories and a great upbringing there. My parents are amazing. And, you know, but the school, as good of a school as it was, I remember, do you remember Career Day?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you know, you can go and shadow the person who's working some job you might want to work in 30 years, like, you know what that is when you're 13 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, and when I was in high school, we had Career Day, and they asked me what I wanted to do and who I wanted to spend the day with. And I said, well, I want to spend the day with my buddy Brad Adams. Brad Adams was a guy here in Savannah, the Statesboro area and stuff like that, who taught me the basics on acoustic guitar.
No kidding.
And they were like, well, why do you want to spend the day with him?
Yeah.
And I said, because I'm going to be a musician when I grow up.
Wow.
And they looked at me and said, and this is the vice principal of the school. He said,
God.
He goes, well, Thomas, we're talking about legitimate careers and not that. You know, don't you want to spend the day with your dad in international paper?
No.
And listen, God bless my dad and his job, man. That is some of the hardest work out there, to work in the ports or in the paper mills and stuff. I mean, I have the utmost respect for that. It wasn't what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But they were trying their best to kind of push me in that direction. That same guy pulled my mother into a parent-teacher conference with me one time in person, right in front of me, and told my mother I was living a pipe dream.
Oh my God.
You know, and so from that point of view, you know, it was kind of a spark, you know, that lit a flame under me, you know, to kind of prove them wrong. You know, now granted, back then, my idea of music was probably more of the, you know, let's see where it goes, and maybe I can be famous one day or something. You know, as a teenager, you think about that kind of stuff. And then when you start kind of focusing your visions and your goals and stuff on different things, you realize whether you do or you don't want that.
That's right.
And I've known that wasn't something I wanted since I was in my early 20s.
Yeah.
You know, it was like...
Have you ever questioned the beliefs you've carried your entire life? In The Absence of Belief, author Joel Beverly takes readers on a powerful journey through the hills of Appalachia to destinations around the world, exploring identity, belonging, and what remains when old assumptions fall away. Part memoir, part travel log, and part cultural manifesto, this thought-provoking new book invites readers to clearly live freely and rediscover themselves. Pick up your copy of In the Absence of Belief today, wherever fine books are sold.
Because I got on my first arena tour. I was singing backup for Chuck Negron of Three Dog Night. God rest his soul, he just passed away recently. And my buddy Mark Vackwer, who works here at Randy Wood Guitars, he got that for me and got me that spot on the tour. And when I got on that first one, that was 2008, so I was 23, 24 at the time. And it was an eye-opening experience, you know, because I was just like, you know what, I love this, but I don't like that part of this.
Yeah.
I didn't want anything to do with it. I was too small town, you know, grew up on 50 acres of farmland.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. I didn't want not to have my privacy anymore. I still wanted to be able to, you know, go home in peace and look up and see the stars at night and that kind of stuff. And,
yeah,
you know, but like I said earlier, it's a cool thing when guys who are there feel like they can call you and count on you for things.
Exactly.
You know? So it's been great in that sense.
Yeah. I can imagine what it was like with those guys. I mean, Three Dog Night.
Well, I was
grew
with
up
Chuck
listening to that stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
I was with Chuck. He was the lead singer. Well, I mean, they had several singers in the band, but Chuck was the guy who was on most of the big hits. I mean, that was him on Joy to the World, or Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog. You know, that was him on One, Celebrate. You know, Good Old Fashioned Love Song. That's all Chuck. And he was a piece of work. I mean, he was such a good guy, though. He had calmed down dramatically by the time I met him.
Really?
And he was, but if you want a great read, go find a book, which you can still find. I think it's still on his website. They sold it. They used to sell it in Barnes & Noble and stuff for a while, called Three Dog Nightmare.
Oh, God.
And it talks about his career.
Do I want to read that?
Bro. Let me tell you something. Everybody always talks about Motley Crue and Ozzy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They ain't got nothing on Chuck McGraw.
Oh,
They ain't got nothing on old Chuck, man.
Man.
But see, by the time I met him, he was chilled out. And he actually took a lot of time for me to give me some good advice and guidance in the short time I was out there on the road with him.
Yeah.
You know, which meant a lot to me. I mean, there was a couple times where, you know, when they would be setting up the stage and everything at these different civic centers and arenas and stuff, and I'd be sitting on the edge of the stage watching all of it go up, and all of a sudden Chuck would come up and sit down next to me and, what do you think?
Wow.
And I was just like, yeah, man, I didn't know if I'd ever be in this situation. You know, I'm looking all over, the truss rods are hanging, the lights are being flown, the line array systems are up and everything, and we use these 3 circular screens that were the size of those big circular ones that Pink Floyd used to use. You know, there was 3 of them with flamethrowers and all sorts of stuff, and it was crazy. And Chuck was like, you know, enjoy it. You never know how long it'll last.
He's right. It could be done tomorrow.
Well, see, he's not the only one that ever said that to me, because one of my good friends is a guy named Mario Cipollina, who played bass for Huey Lewis and the News.
Right.
And Mario said that he was backstage. I think he said they were in Madison Square Garden one day or something, and I think it was, I want to say it was Smokey Robinson or Otis Redding or someone who came up to him backstage and said, you better enjoy it, Mario, because it's not going to last forever. And Mario said, you know, that he didn't really know what that meant until one day he did. You know, and it was crazy, you know, to really put that kind of stuff in perspective. But hearing that at such a young age from guys like Chuck and Mario, and hearing it even now from,
how do you take stuff like that when they say it? I mean, do you get aggressive, or would you not want to say something back, or how do you do that?
Well, I mean, at that age, I'm just thinking back what age I would be, and I would think, what is this guy trying to tell me something, or, you know? Well, the thing was, I always considered myself mature for my age because I hung out with guys that were older than me. All of my closest friends are 20, 30 years older than me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've got some friends since childhood, don't get me wrong, and they're super close friends too, but it's a different kind of friendship.
Exactly.
You know, but because of that, you know, we all do stupid stuff when we're in our 20s. You know, but
I got a whole list, man.
But a lot of those guys helped me kind of steer clear of certain stupid things. You know, even though I did my share of dumb shit, but you know,
it can happen.
It can happen
before you know it.
Yeah, but see, when I heard that kind of stuff, I kind of knew how to process it a little bit, and it kept me grounded.
Yeah.
You know, to where even to this day, when I travel places, I don't mind flying, but I hate the process of flying.
Exactly.
So if I can leave 3 days earlier, I'll drive to Los Angeles.
I don't blame you.
I've driven across this country 38 times.
Holy crap.
The entire distance.
Jeez.
You know, and and technically more than that, because I mean 38 times, one time is a round trip. So 38 times 2, I guess. 1, 2,
Jeez.
3. You know, so it's pretty crazy. But now I do it, and I'm like, I'm soaking it all in.
Yeah.
You know, like when I go to a different area, even if I'm in between things that I'm doing, I go to the national parks.
Yeah.
I try to do some hiking. I do things like that, and just, you know, just be grateful for any opportunity.
But most guys don't think that way, and the only reason that you think that way is because of the people you've been around, basically, and what you've seen, and the way that you think that you need to handle things. You know, a lot of guys go out there and they really don't know how to handle things. Just like you were saying, you take advice from people like Smokey Robinson, something like that. You know, I mean, somebody says something like that, you soak it in.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's but I mean, you know, it was a good thing to hear that kind of stuff, you know, because like I said, it kept me grounded. It kept things in perspective for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember just always kind of being like, the people I like the most in life are the ones who are the most grateful. Because you know,
Yes, sir.
I think some people misunderstand me greatly, you know, because
What do you mean?
Because I'm pretty forthright about things. I'll spit it out there. I don't give a crap, you know.
Nothing
that kind
wrong
of
with
stuff.
that.
No, nothing wrong with that. But some people misinterpret that. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So the real me is, I didn't do any of this on my own.
Exactly.
You know, and don't get me wrong, we all have to put in the work. You know, like if you don't pull your weight and you don't do do what you're supposed to do,
You're not going to
get
get back
anywhere.
what you think you're going to get back.
But a lot of opportunities were afforded to me by a lot of other people. And it was, you know, those people who had faith in what I could do that afforded me those opportunities.
Hey, if you love real music played by real musicians, it's time you experience a night at Randy Wood's Old Time Pickin' Parlor in Bloomingdale, Georgia. This legendary listening room is where world-class pickers, bluegrass greats, Americana artists, singer-songwriters, and roots musicians take the stage to play the music the way it was meant to be heard, up close, personal, and full of soul. No big arena distractions here, just great sound, great people, and unforgettable live performances in one of the most respected acoustic venues anywhere. Whether it's blazing banjo, sweet harmonies, or a hot fiddle tune that gets your heart going, you'll find it on stage at Randy Wood's. Make plans now to catch an upcoming show. Bring some friends and be part of the music tradition that keeps on living. Randy Wood's Old Time Pickin' Parlor, Bloomingdale, Georgia, where the music never gets old. Check upcoming performances and ticket info online, and we'll see you at the Pickin' Parlor.
That being said, I know that as far as we know, we got one shot on this floating rock.
Exactly.
You know, so
I don't know for sure, man. I wish I did.
no, I mean, but I kind of find the beauty in not knowing.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I do. I'm just like, you know, I mean, for all we know, bro, I ain't gonna be here tomorrow.
That's possible.
I mean, you might not be.
That's possible,
And
too.
everybody's like that, you know, like, oh, don't be morbid. That's not morbid, bro.
No, that's being truthful.
That's reality.
Exactly.
And I think the more people embrace that fact, the better off and more fulfilling their life is going to be, because if you look at it in a sense that, you know what, you got a limited amount of time. And every single day that you wake up is something to be grateful for.
That is so true.
You know, so to me, I look at it the same way, and I try to put it in the same, you know, I try to look at it the same way in my music career. I don't care if I'm playing a bar that's got 10 people in it or an arena that's got 10,000 one day. You know what I mean? Like, to me, certain ones have certain vibes.
Sure.
You know, there's something about an intimate setting, and there's something to be said to be able to connect one-on-one with people when they're really close to you in a room.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that coin, you don't know adrenaline until you walk out in front of thousands of people in an arena.
Dude.
It's like, whoa.
I mean, I used to, when I was in radio, I used to love to go out and introduce bands.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool, because that was going to be as close as I was going to get to what they were feeling. And sometimes it's nothing. I mean, you don't feel anything. I mean, I felt great the first time my dad heard me on the radio. He was driving down the interstate, and I was like, he called me.
The amount of people you walk out in front of.
Oh, yeah.
My buddy, Carmine Rojas, was the bass player for Rod Stewart and David Bowie. So that's him on Let's Dance and Modern Love. And Rod Stewart, let's see, New Year's Eve, Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro, 1994, 3.5 million people.
Oh, my God.
That is crazy. That is crazy. I mean,
what do you do? I mean, I've been around people that they emit energy. I can only imagine that many people, just throwing it out at you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
God, what is it like? I mean, I know you've been around a lot of people and you've been.
I can't tell you what 3.5
no,
million.
But I mean bigger settings.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's about the energy of the setting. It's like you could. I mean, I've been even here in Savannah during St. Patrick's.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of people, man.
We were outdoors, and see, they keep saying that every year it's record numbers. I ain't buying it. So I remember St. Patrick's.
There's a tourism department here. You know that?
Yeah. 2007, before that housing bubble burst in 08.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, that was the largest crowd I think I ever remember seeing in downtown Savannah.
So how many are you thinking?
I don't exactly know. I can't even begin to guess because it was, we were playing, mine and Mark's local band were playing, outside in City Market, which was the Wild Wing Cafe at that point.
Yeah.
And we looked out toward MLK from the stage, and we never saw a break in the crowd.
Holy crap.
It was just an ocean of people. It was so many people. And, that was cool.
So what's the first thing you think about when you come at something like that?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I don't think.
That's probably the best thing, too.
You just kind of, you got to close your eyes and just take the moment. It's like,
yeah,
you're not really trying to think about it and be like, oh, let me analyze this. It's more like there's energy coming at you.
I introduced Joan Jett one time.
I love Joan Jett.
And I could not believe what I felt.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's almost like a drug, man, because you want it more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
But I introduced other people, man, and it was a bigger room and it wasn't there. And I don't know how to explain that. You've heard the stories about them telling people to stay positive in hospitals and stuff if they're sick. Yeah.
I don't understand people that are very dismissive of things like that, like, oh, what is some invisible thing hitting you now?
Yeah. It can.
It can.
Mm-hmm.
That's a proven fact.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're around positive things and you're around energy that changes, the chemical balance inside of you pretty much. It's it can make a world of a difference, And so when you walk out on a stage like that, or you're in an environment where that those people showed up to see something that you're a part of,
mm-hmm.
it's humbling. It really is, and that's
2002, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And you would not believe, and I guess you would now since we've had this conversation, you wouldn't believe what it's like to be around good, positive people. You want to be there 24/7. Of course you can't because things are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it just amazed me sometimes. It was like I could feel good things coming from people.
100%.
But that was the first time in my life I'd ever felt that. And I was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It
can change the whole outcome of things.
Oh, and it did. I mean, I could have gotten the crapper really easy, but I was like, nah, this is just
Look,
we'll go through this.
Energy
We'll
and vibrations are a thing.
Oh, no kidding.
I don't care what anybody says.
No kidding.
Matter of fact, they brought. I remember an episode of MythBusters years ago where
I love that show.
where they brought this dude out there to see if the human voice could break glass.
Yeah.
And they had these wine glasses, and that dude, I can't remember the guy's name. He reminded me of Millie Matiovic, who sang with Steelheart years
Was it
ago.
the dude with the mustache?
No, I don't think this guy had a mustache.
Okay.
But he went out there and he held the glass, and he had to find the right vibration to make that glass vibrate more, and then it shattered. It took him about a good 10 to 15 tries.
Yeah,
but he
but
finally
still.
found that vibration, and that proved what I'm talking about. It's like once you find that pattern and you're right on it, it shattered that glass.
Man, I didn't have any idea that even existed, in the world.
It's crazy stuff, but life is interesting. So
It is, isn't it?
It is what
There's all
it
kinds
is.
of cool stuff out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting ready for some stuff right now because I've got I know we got another concert series event coming up at the end of May. I'm bringing in my buddy Larry Mitchell for that. Larry was the guitarist for Tracy Chapman and Billy Squier for a little while, and then
God, Billy Squier, he got me through junior high. and not what you're thinking either.
No, it probably is what I'm thinking. I'm just being honest. Any guy who writes a song called The Stroke.
Yeah, I'm telling you, what was the deal there? But anyway.
There's a place tucked away in the mountains where time slows down just enough for you to catch your breath. And that place is Marion, Virginia. Known as America's coolest hometown, Marion blends rich Appalachian heritage with a fresh, vibrant energy that you can feel the moment you arrive. Stroll historic Main Street. Take in a live show at the beautifully restored Lincoln Theater, or explore great outdoors along the scenic Hungry Mother Park, where the views are so unforgettable. Whether you're chasing live music, small town charm, or a weekend escape that feels like home, Marion delivers it all with a handshake and a smile. So pack up, head for the hills, and discover why folks don't just visit Marion. They come back again and again. Plan your trip today and experience Marion, Virginia, where the mountains meet the music.
Holler Trading Company, where one style fits all.
And then in July we've got my buddy Liberty DeVito, who's the drummer for Billy Joel.
Mm-hmm.
He played drums on 23 of Billy's 24 top 40 hits.
52nd Street.
Yeah, Lords of 52nd Street. Great stuff.
That was the greatest record, I tell you.
He's coming. Carmine Rojas, who I mentioned earlier, is coming. And Eddie Martinez is going to be here. Eddie Martinez, friends of Randy Woods, will probably have seen Randy posting about Eddie here lately. Eddie's a good friend of mine. I brought him to Savannah where he met Mark and Randy. Yeah. And Eddie was the guitarist for Robert Palmer and Steve Winwood.
Holy crap.
And it's really cool because, and I always say this too whenever I talk about Eddie, because it's one thing to be really good, but it's another thing to be considered an innovator.
Yeah.
And Eddie falls into that category because Eddie was the first guy who ever put electric guitar into hip hop music. And some people,
I didn't know that.
Some people might not be into hip hop music. That's fine. Each to their own, but reality of it is though, that's still a big deal, especially culturally, because, everybody thinks about the first time they heard that. Mm-hmm. The first time you heard it probably isn't the first time it happened.
It was a sample, though, most of the time.
Well, sometimes.
Really?
Like what Eddie was doing was not. And then what he did directly influenced on something else because he was on something called King of Rock and Rockbox with Run DMC back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, so that's Eddie on the guitar.
I didn't know
First time
that.
electric guitar had ever been put into hip-hop music. He was also the first electric guitar player to be featured in a hip-hop music video on MTV.
Wow.
So that's all Eddie to be credited for. And then, because of what he did, and because of the success of what he did with Run DMC, they went forward with their collaboration with Aerosmith doing Walk This Way.
No kidding.
And Eddie's the first guy to do that. And then, and again, he went on to be part of like Addicted to Love and Simply Irresistible and Higher Love by Steve Winwood.
See, Addicted to Love, that was another part of my life, man. When I heard that, I was like, that's so heavy, but it's so light.
Right.
The vocals just kind of balanced it out, I guess, more than anything.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And he, that's him on I Would Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That by Meatloaf. He's been on a ton of stuff.
Jeez.
So him and Liberty and Carmine are coming in July, and that's going to be
awesome.
That's going to be a great show. We're looking forward to that one. I've got a lot of other great stuff lined up, So I know that Danny Seraphin, founding drummer of Chicago, is coming in January to the concert series, along with hopefully, fingers crossed, Bill.
Now, is that here or where's that going to be?
Right here.
No kidding.
It's going to be at Plant Riverside and District Live.
That is such a cool spot too.
Oh yeah,
I love that place.
it's the home of the Gretsch Museum. So, but we got to give a plug out to Randy Wood real quick because
No doubt.
Because if we don't, we'll be in trouble.
Randy will kill us both. No, Randy's one of the best guys in the business. I mean, we do a little interview with him like once every 3 months because he's got so many stories. And he's, had to deal with so many different people in the business. So it's kind of a shame to sit in there and just talk to him sometimes. And, all of a sudden one of these stories comes out and it's, 45 minutes later, you're like, holy crap, I wish I would have had that recorded.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's cool because, a lot of people associate Randy with bluegrass and country and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But Randy's made guitars for some of the greats. I mean, Eric Clapton, Elvis Presley. Speaking of Eddie Martinez, now Randy has the Eddie Martinez, the EM series guitars that he's actually doing here. And, which, there's videos that are coming with Eddie playing those guitars and stuff like that. He used it this past October on stage there. We had Randy come out and present the guitar to him.
That was pretty cool, man. I think that Randy
experience.
he was like, smiling ear to ear. And, it's good to have somebody come around and say, yeah, you can make a hell of a guitar. There's no doubt about it. And I'm going to play it.
Yeah, no, Randy's one of the greats, man. He's done a lot of amazing stuff, with his art.
Yeah. I mean, when I first moved here, I was like, what am I going to do? Because, I left the home of country music to come here. And, I think everything has just blossomed since we've come here, for the last 7 years. So everything that goes on with the Rick Dollar Show has just gone bonkers. So even talking to you.
Uh-oh. I mean, anything I'm associated with is going to be bonkers, for better or for worse.
Ain't no doubt about that, man.
No doubt. But, hey, we're here to have a good time.
You got to, man. Live life. And, like we were saying earlier, we don't know how much time we got. But, hey, man, you got to be able to look back and say, man, yesterday was cool.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's what it boils down to.
It is. And I've run into people, man, that are just like trudging through life. And you're thinking, God, how do they wake up?
I'm glad this is you, by the way, because I walked in here the other day. I was like, who left all this crap back here? And I was like, man, Randy gets mad at me when I leave a chair back here, and somebody done brought the whole living room, man.
Dude,
you got a rug out here and everything, bro.
I know. I came in here one day, man, and there was like stuff everywhere. And David was like, oh, yeah, there were some people back there earlier. And I was like, I don't care. It's all right. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Life's too short to worry about too much,
Oh yeah.
All right.
But it's, like I said, we're gonna have a good time. I got a show in here tonight at Randy's. We're gonna have a great time with that. You gonna stick around for that?
Sure.
Yeah, good.
Why would I not?
If you bail out of here at like 9 o'clock, I'm gonna publicly humiliate you. I'm all about some shaming. I mean, I think that's what's missing today. More people need to be shamed.
I think that would probably fix a whole lot of problems. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I would think so, but you just never know with people these days, man.
No, you got some cool merch out there too, man. I love the t-shirts.
I've got that. My last album was called Age of Propaganda.
Yeah, I noticed.
And it was a cool album cover, you know, because I had my guy, Brian Matney. Look up Brian's work, man. He's such a hell of a graphic designer.
Yeah.
And, but he made this thing for me because I went and told him, I said, look, I've always wanted an album called Age of Propaganda. I think it's a great time in humanity to name an album that, because there's so much propaganda on both sides of the fence. Crazy. It's so much crap out there. And I was like, so what I'm thinking is I want you to make me this album cover where these people that are almost in a zombie-like trance are staring at a television. Because that's what they're looking.
It's so true.
And I'm like, so on the TV, I want you to make it, you know, nice and pretty.
Yeah.
Behind the TV, make it post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Like it's like everything's burning to the ground. But the TV says, don't worry, it's fine.
You're sitting here like this.
Everything is good. What was that movie back in the day?
I can't remember. I know what you're talking about.
They Live with Rowdy Piper. You know, where you put them sunglasses on and it says,
shout out to Roddy Piper.
It says, obey.
God, he's one that we really need right now, because I think he'd be telling everybody the truth, you know?
Probably so.
Yeah.
Probably so. He got into some stuff, but you know, he was one of my favorites back in the day.
That's it.
But yeah, man. So let's go in there and have a good time.
I love it, man. This is going to be great.
It's going to be an awesome time,
I'm
man.
looking forward to it,
I appreciate you having me here.
Hey, Thomas Claxton right here, live with Rick Dollar on The Rick Dollar Show.
Thanks for hanging with us for this week's episode of the Rick Dollar Show podcast. Don't forget to visit all of our partners who make the show possible every week. Be sure to head over to Spotify and Apple Podcasts to leave us a review or a comment to win some cool merchandise from Hopeless Holler Trading Company. And now, here's some credits. See ya!
This has been the Rick Dollar Show podcast. The Rick Dollar Show podcast is produced by Radio Dog Productions. Theme music is written and performed by Jeremy Garrett at garrettgrass.com. The Rick Dollar Show podcast cannot be reproduced or rebroadcast without express written consent from Radio Dog Productions. I'm Kent Jones, and this has been a Radio Dog production.